Welcome back. This is Julian Valderrama, and the name of this riff series is The Quantum Code for Life Secrets to Success. I would encourage you that you start from the beginning if you just happen to stumble upon this one audio. That way you can listen to this one with the context that's necessary for you to understand to what is being said. Name of this riff is scientific concept number 5. Our brain is a transmitter and receiver of energy, frequency, or vibration. We have examined that everything in the universe is energy and vibrates or resonates or sends out frequencies simultaneously in all directions. We also learned that everything has its own unique rate of resonance or vibration based on its collective particle accumulation. We also suggested that we resonate or vibrate energy or frequencies, and as such, you send out a unique frequency in all directions, permeating all time and space. We also examined that all of these crazy scientific principles are proven to be true thanks to the double slit experiment, quantum entanglement, and quantum tunneling. These are the laws and rules of the crazy, mind-blowing world of quantum mechanics. It is almost a miracle in nature that we are able to learn and understand these concepts. Considering all these concepts, we can conclude that our brain also has its own unique blueprint, a unique collective vibrational energy of frequency. Let's also observe the idea that through our brains, we think, we feel, or emote. We see, we hear, we taste, we smell, we touch, and we move and operate. We live. We may have learned through science that since everything is energy, our brain just interprets inputs and outputs of vibrational energy. In essence, everything we experience is just electrical signals interpreted, translated, or decoded by our brain. It has been said by many reliable sources that thoughts are things. It has also been expressed by them that, quote unquote, thoughts also become things. Let's consider the point that nowadays there exist incredibly powerful instruments that can measure the resonance of thoughts. So, like all things in the universe, thoughts can be measured or pinpointed in the different areas of the brain by picking up its frequencies. We can then conclude that thoughts are fundamentally things. And as such, they are like all things. They are also energy vibrating at different rates of frequency. We can also conclude that like photons, they are also in a state of duality. Thoughts exist in your brain, but like all things, thoughts exist in an infinite amount of places, just like photons do. We can also conclude that like all particles that are entangled, affecting themselves and other particles simultaneously, then thoughts are also entangled and affect themselves and other thoughts. The next sentence is not only scientific, but also believed to be true by some of the wealthiest and most powerful people that exist and have ever existed. As stated before, everything that is written here encompasses science and spiritual knowledge. It is also validated by ultra successful people who happen to have what you want in one way or another. So consider the next statement very carefully. Quote unquote, your brain is a transmitter and a receiver of energy, frequency, and vibration. And your brain transmission of energy or frequency is also picked up by other brains and it affects physical matter. End quote. According to Kevin Trudeau in the audio Your Wish is Your Command, it has also been explained through observation that our brain can generate or create and broadcast any frequency we decide. One of the best experiments ever done to prove this was done in Japan by a scientist named Masaru Emoto. If the reader has not watched the documentary, What the Bleep Do We Know?, I suggest you watch it after reading this entire chapter. In that documentary, it was explained that thoughts in themselves, as well as written words, affect the physical and molecular structure of water. Tanks of water were placed with specific words. Also, different types of music were played for the water. In another experiment, people were told to think certain thoughts or send out quote-unquote prayers to the water. The nature of the words, music, or prayers were either that of a positive nature or a negative nature. After drawing samples of the water, these were examined under a microscope, and it was found that once the water was frozen, the crystallization and molecular structure of the water changed. The positive outputs of energy made the crystals form beautifully, while the negative outputs of vibration made the water crystals jagged and deformed. Here is the money question. Does this mean that our brain, or us as individual conscious beings, can not only influence, but create physical matter or photons? Does this mean that we can influence and create and expand the perceivable physical universe? I am personally inclined to say yes due to empirical evidence, although they are just theories. But I am more inclined to say yes because some of the most powerful people in the world to have ever existed testify and witness to the validity of the power that we hold. They include Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, and Nikola Tesla, among many more. These previous statements will continue to be validated throughout the book with other viable sources of spiritual and scientific knowledge, which may be quoted directly or indirectly. This includes people who, although not scientists, do have real-life evidence and testify that this information is true. Maybe if you really think about it, they are scientists since they took this information and developed a question in the form of a desired result in their personal lives. People have formed hypotheses based on desires or goals, tested these hypotheses through experimentation and drawing conclusions, and got powerful real-life evidence. This is important because experiments have to be able to be replicated. Therefore, we can say success and results based on conclusive evidence can be and must be replicated. Therefore, success, whatever you decide that to be in the observable universe and your own personal reality, is attainable scientifically. We can have what they have by doing what they did. We are coming to understand common denominators of success in connection to common denominators of action and reaction, for it is all based on laws of physics, specifically particle physics. Essentially, we can have, be, and do everything we want, plain and simple, scientifically. The next scientific principle is mostly validated by spiritual references and beliefs of people who testify to its existence, but It also has scientific evidence. All right, this is the end of this riff. And if you desire to hack the law of attraction to make your dreams and desires a reality, I highly encourage you that you continue to listen to the Quantum Code for Life Secrets to Success by pressing that button and subscribe to my channel. Also, go ahead and put a like on the video so you can continue to be notified of all my fresh content. Consider being one of the first to comment by sharing what you like best so that fresh knowledge gets locked into your mind. I thank you for tuning in, and remember that you are an engine geared into the will work of the universe whose influence extends into infinite distance.